You know, there's a really widespread misunderstanding about what forms actually is. People see us developing highly technical players and assume that's the end goal. They see the precision, the constant touches, the skill, and they think we're just building selfish ball jugglers. But they're looking at the foundation, not the structure. What we're actually building is the type of player whose brain and body are wired to perform intuitively, to stay composed under pressure, and to adapt to any tactical system under any coach in the world. So when someone says forms players just dribble, or a coach says the players won't be able to adjust or adapt to 11v11, or a podcaster says forms can't produce teams that compete, while most of the area's top teams have recruited our top players, what they're really saying is they don't understand the science of development. And here's why. To reach genuine technical fluency, where skill execution happens automatically and without hesitation, you're not just training muscles, you're training the brain. So every touch on the ball is a neural event. Each repetition strengthens a specific neural pathway between the motor cortex, the cerebellum, and the spinal patterning networks that control coordination, balance, and timing. This process is called myelination, the wrapping of neural circuits in a fatty sheath called myelin that allows signals to fire faster and cleaner. And that's what creates intuitive players, movements that are so well mapped in the brain that they happen without conscious effort. But here's the part that most people miss. That level of neural wiring takes 5 to 7 years of deep, focused repetition, and you cannot shortcut that. You cannot replace it with tactics, athleticism, or intensity drills. Tactics rest on top of technique. And when the foundation isn't there, players look intelligent only until the game speeds up. Then they fall apart. In the Americanized version of football, people tend to chase early results. They build around who runs fastest, who's strongest, and who kicks farthest. That wins games in the short term, but it kills long-term potential. Just look at any top team's player churn. Because what they are doing is recruiting athletes to survive football, not to control it. At Forms, we're not trying to win 10-year-old games. We're trying to build 20-year-old professionals. That means constructing the neurological foundation first, the brain-to-ball relationship, before layering the higher tactical and psychological demands of the 11v11 game. Motor learning research is clear on this. According to Anderson, Schmidt, and Lee, skill automation requires thousands of contextually varied repetition before the brain offloads the action to the basal ganglia, which is the region that handles automatic execution. Wolf and Leithwaite showed that autonomy and external focus accelerate this process, exactly how we design training. Players are guided to solve problems with feel, not with rigid instructions. Klein and Jones demonstrated that neuroplastic change depends on intensity, repetition, and salience, all pillars of our methodology. So no, we're not just making dribblers, we're cultivating motor intelligence, fast, efficient, fully integrated neural control that transfers to every tactical context. So that's why when our players go abroad, to Spain, for example, to environments that demand rhythm, composure, and decision speed, they fit right in. They don't have to unlearn bad habits. They have the bandwidth to absorb and execute complex tactical instructions because their brains are not busy trying to control the ball. You cannot fake mastery. You can't coach composure. And you can't teach intelligence to a player who doesn't first have command of his own movements. That's why Forms does what we do. We build the base, we build the wiring, and when that foundation is complete, the player can do anything. So if someone still believes that a 10-year-old should play like an adult, they don't understand development. If someone still believes that athleticism can replace skill, they don't understand the brain. And if someone still believes that technique is a phase you grow out of, well, you've already limited how far their player will go. We build technicians first because the technicians become the thinkers, and the thinkers, they become the professionals.